Hi everyone, I was tagged by Kelly Donovan to answer 15 questions about crafting. And the first question is, most expensive crafting tool you use on a regular basis? Well, that for me has to be my Kettlebug. That's probably the most expensive tool I have, although I do have watercolours. And I've got tubes of watercolours, and they're quite expensive to buy as well. But I've had them a long time, and I do have quite a few in there. So these would be the most expensive things I have, but they're not really a crafting tool. So, and the next question is the least expensive tool you use on a regular basis, and that'll be this one here, which I got from the dollar store in New Zealand. So it cost me $1, so that's probably the cheapest one, apart from pencils. Oldest item you made that you or someone you know still have? Well, when I was at school, when I was a little girl, when I was a teenager, we used to have woodworking and metalworking classes, as well as home economics, which is cooking. And in the woodworking class, I made my mum a hairbrush holder. You know, that very useful tool, a hairbrush holder. And made it and painted it and everything else, and I know that 40 years later she still has that hairbrush holder, so that would be my oldest item that I've made that someone still has. So crafting tool that was a waste of money. Well, it wasn't really a crafting tool. I recently bought some oil pastels and I could not get on with them at all. Couldn't. It's because they weren't water soluble ones, and so you have to blend them in is really difficult. You have to do it with oil, baby oil or something like that. Or I was watching other YouTube channels and they were saying, you know, you can use an eraser to help blend it in, and oh man, it was just like the worst thing. So I gave them to my granddaughter. And she just uses them as a crayon, and they were a bit expensive, but I knew I wasn't going to use them again, so I gave them to her. Yeah, I actually made up a package of all different little crafting tools, you know, with glues and paints and pens and things like that, and gave her a whole package of things, and she loves it, and she's got stencils, and yeah, so I gave them to her and she plays with them now. A crafting tool that was the best bargain, and I don't really get bargains because it just doesn't simply happen. But I did the other day get a light, and it's a daylight bulb light, which is in the evenings. If you're sat doing it in the evenings and you're colouring and things, you need to see actually what the colours are that you're doing, so the daylight bulb is really great for doing that. And this is one that packs away like that, which on the boat, when we actually go sailing, I have to pack away all of my crafting gear. It all has to go away, and it gets put in a bin locker under one of the bunks, and so this is great because I can pack it away, and really the bulb won't get damaged. So that was my best. Oh, it was a bargain, of course, obviously, because it was half price. So yeah, so that was my bargain, and that's probably the only bargain I've ever bought. Best storage idea you have implemented? I haven't, because all of my sorry, thought you were on the computer then. It's my crafting gear behind here, it's all a bit of a mess because we just got the boat back in from the yard, back into the water, and so while I did that I just put the netting up to hold everything in while the boat was being moved, and I haven't unpacked it all yet. So yeah, no storage, everything goes away in plastic boxes and gets put under the bunk, so I don't have like storage. We have the check-in lockers there, which I have to take my crafting gear out of and put it back in the bunk as well, because this is all used for sailing things as we're going along. All our fenders get stored here behind this netting, and as we're sailing, because you don't have your fenders out, you have to have them somewhere, so they go there. So no, I don't have a best storage idea. I wish I did. And the worst storage idea is the fact that I've got to put everything in a plastic box and put it in a locker and never see it again while we're sailing. And that's yeah, so no, I don't have any answers for those questions. My most viewed YouTube craft video, well, I've got 2 channels on YouTube, and the one is now the sailing channel, where I post all my sailing travelling videos, and then I've got a new crafting channel, but I've still got some really old crafting videos on my sailing channel, and there's one there, and it's titled a not so mini paper bag album or something like that. So it's, you know, it's a paper, you know, made from paper bag. It's an album you make from paper bag and decorates, and that's the most views that I've got on that. And for a while it had a lot more views than my sailing videos. But I don't know how to transfer across from the one channel to take it out of my sailing videos and put it into my crafting videos. I don't know how to do that, so it just stays there. And my least, and that'll be on my new channel, of course, because it hasn't been up too long, my new channel, and I think so one of them's only got 3 or 4 views, and that's a drawing and that's a drawing video. So I did the 29 faces along with Kelly, and yeah, I didn't put up all 29 faces because, to be honest with you, not all of them were good enough to put up. So yeah, there's that one there. Biggest crafting mishap. What project did you try that just didn't cut it? Well, as some of you may know, a little while ago, a couple of months ago, I entered some canvases into an exhibition, and I was going to enter 2 canvases, and I'd worked a long time on this one canvas, and then a sort of like a medium time on this, a couple of days on the second canvas, and then at the last minute I threw together a 3rd canvas, and because you could enter up to 3 canvases, so I thought, oh, I might as well try, because it goes through a process and not everything will be picked to put into the exhibition. And I had 2 canvases picked to put in the exhibition, and the funny thing is the one I worked the hardest and longest on didn't get chosen to go into the exhibition, and the canvas that sold was the one that I threw together at the last minute. So yeah, so you can't tell. It wasn't actually, you know, that it was a crafting mishap. It was the fact that people didn't like the canvas that I'd worked the hardest on. And it's so it's surprising is that even if you think something's good, other people won't think it's good, and something that you think, I'll just throw it together and blah, just to fill the number, and people really liked it. So so you can't tell, can you? No, never. I never know what people are going to like of mine and what they're not. So items you stock up on every time, or almost every time you go to the craft store? Well, where did I put them? It's these puppies here. These are my favourite items. These are my brushes. My brushes, and some of these brushes are really expensive. Some of them are very, very expensive, and so I like to save up a little bit of money and pay a little bit more and get a really nice brush, because you know, some of them are squirrel. Sorry to all you vegetarians out there. Some of them are squirrel hair, some of them are goat hair. Or should I say sorry to animal rights activists, but I do have pure bristle brushes. Is that bad of me? Yeah, so I just love them. And quite often my most favourite ones are the really, really small ones. You know, the 0, I've got a 0 and 00 and 000 size brushes. Because I make cards, and I not only make cards, you know, the usual with the Copics and things. I actually like to watercolour cards as well, which I send to my family, and so some of it's really detailed, and that's why I have little brushes for the watercolours for that. Ooh. So the next question is my favourite non-craft store place to buy supplies, items for crafting. Well, as I travel around quite a lot, quite often there just aren't any craft stores, so you just go into stores and you have a look and see what they have, see what you can use. You know, often go into haberdashers, but that, I suppose that would be really a craft store as well, to get some nice little ribbons to put on cards and things, you know, lace and ribbons and things like that. And quite often if you go into a cake store as well, they do stencils, and you can use cake stencils for your work as well. So yeah, so maybe a cooking store. In fact, see here, where did I put it? I'll show you what, if I can find it quickly, I'll show you. If I can't, it'll be blah, 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 blah. Where did I put it? Everything's everywhere, because as I say, we just moved the boat again, so, here it is. Oop. This is Wally. Sorry, Wally. Wally the wind vane, and he looks after us when we're sailing at sea. He's like another member of the crew. He can sail the boat on the wind on his own. You just set the sails, set him up to where the wind is, and he actually keeps the boat on course all on his own. We love Wally. So yeah, so I was in a cook shop the other day, and I got these silicone moulds there, and I got some air dried clay as well, clay, and putting the moulds in that to make these cute little shapes and things. That's when it's already painted, so yeah, so that's one I've done there. And this one's a shell one. It's a shell. So that's the shell one. I've tried the moulds, and this one and this one don't come out very well, so I've got crosses in them to remember not to bother to waste putting my clay in there, because they don't come out as a very good mould. And yeah, it's a little rose. So yeah, so I bought these in a cook store. So maybe my favourite store would be a cook store. You just go where you can and use what you can. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to be a crafting store. So it's craft you wish you could do but can't. on the boat there's not a lot of room, and I'd like to do more sewing, but unless I do it by hand, and I do a lot of sewing actually on the boat. I make things by hand, covers and things like that, and it's a long and slow process. There just isn't enough room to put a sewing machine on here, because there's nowhere to store it when you're sailing, or yeah. So sewing, it's not because I can't do it, really, it's just that I don't have any space to do it, and unless I do it by hand. So there you go. I'd like to have a sewing machine, so I can do more sewing. I have lots of projects that I want to do at the moment, but it's motivating myself to do them by hand. Crazy. Sewing machine would be so much easier. What's next in your craft or wish list? Well, on my wish list is a sewing machine. There you go. But nothing, actually. Nothing. I don't have any room to take anything else on, and there's nothing that I really can't do without. So nothing. And what made you start a YouTube channel? Well, I started recording videos 5 years ago, and that'll be on my other channel, The Sailing Mum, which is Carson DeCat, for any of you who are interested in having a look there. So 5 years ago I put up my first video, but I've had the channel longer than that. I've had that channel for about 7 or 8 years, I think it is, and the reason why I've had it that long is that my son started his channel, and he puts up his music because he's a musician, and he plays music, and he's not always been at home, and so the way I could always catch up and see what he was doing was by watching his YouTube channel. And to encourage him, of course, I needed to make a channel myself so I could leave comments for him and like his videos and etc. And that's how I started my channel. But it took me a couple of years after that to put my first video up, because it's a bit nerve-wracking, and of course it's technology, and I'm not a young chick. Wasn't brought up with technology. It's like, oh, yeah, crazy. You have to learn so much when you go and start your channel, and learn how to use the equipment and things like that. I mean, I've got a couple of GoPros that we use when we're sailing, that we position around the boats so that we film us doing different things, yeah, and dolphins and underwater under the boat, and yeah, and I do everything concerning the YouTube channels. My husband doesn't. I do it all myself, because it was me that said, oh, let's do a sailing channel and that. But yeah, the crafting one has been my interest for a long time now. It's just that I've never really pushed myself to do more than a couple, not like some people who do them continually. I've never pushed myself to do that. I've got a couple of blogs that I don't keep up, and I only do them very occasionally. If I could motivate myself to do more, then yeah. But it's quite difficult when you travel a lot, and when you don't have much space, and making excuses. So yeah, so it was my son made me start my YouTube channel, and that's it. Well, I've had a look to see who I would nominate next, and it has to be someone who's also putting out videos. But to tell you the truth, I don't have many subscribers to my crafting channel, and the people that are on there have already been nominated, so yeah, so I can't really nominate anyone because they've already been nominated, and I don't have that many people there, and other people who are subscribed to my channel aren't crafters either. They're either family or friends, or people who are just looking at my Alice in Wonderland videos, and yeah, so can't nominate anyone from my channel anyway. But thanks for the nomination, Kelly. It was really nice to at last be tagged. Be tagged by someone, even though I've been had a channel running for 5 years. This is the first time I've ever been tagged to put up a video like this. So yeah, tag Omit. So yeah, sorry I can't pay it forward to anyone. I mean, you know, like Eileen's already done tags. I've watched a few of hers now, and she's subscribed to my channel. And Kelly, of course, Kelly's already there. And so yeah, that's it. I've rambled on long enough. So from me and my channel and the good ship Koru, see you again. Bye.